It is Miss May here. Those of you that know, One Fab Teacher. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you are a faithful subscriber, thank you for coming back. Today I'm coming to you with a video, and this video is all about parent communication. Y'all, my throat has been a little bit like, I'm sure you can probably tell, but I've had a rough couple of weeks. I don't know what's going on with it, but I've been trying to drink tea and water. And y'all, how cute is this mug? So one of my former students, who's now in 4th grade, brought this to me on the first day of school this school year. So it says Miss May. It looks like a pencil, and then on the back it says number 2. Like, how cute is that? So if you see me drinking a lot during this video, my apologies, because my throat is, woo, it's a little off the chain. So I apologize. So if I keep taking sips, it's like I feel the need where I just constantly want to drink and keep my throat coated with water. But anyway, welcome back. I am here to talk about parent communication because many have asked, Miss May, how do you communicate with your parents? Miss May, how often do you communicate with parents? Miss May, how do you deal with negative parents? Because let's face it, we all get them. And so I'm going to talk to you about those things. I want to start off by saying that by no means am I little miss perfect teacher, and I know how to talk to my parents the best, and no, okay, no. I just do what I do, and it just works for me. So I'm giving you tips, and hopefully some of the tips can work for you. My one true thing though is if you do try out these tips, to make sure you're consistent, because you don't want to be doing it on Monday and then the parent doesn't hear from you until 7 Mondays later. So definitely be consistent. But I truly believe that parent communication is truly, besides building relationships with your students, is like your #1 thing that you could possibly do. See, I can feel it coming, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I really truly believe it's one of your best things that you can do to have a very successful school year. I feel like when your parent communication is like on point, meaning very good, I feel like your school year runs a lot more smoother, because let's face it, I don't know one parent that is like, quit doing all this positive because I don't like it. Like, I've never experienced that before. So I truly believe that parent communication is like important. So with that said, let's talk about what I like to do when I communicate with my parents. So I'm going to just talk like from the beginning of the school year. Beginning of the year, what I like to do is that first week of school, I definitely sign up for a Remind. If you're not familiar with that app, I'll put a picture here, but you can download it on your Android or Apple devices. And it is a great way for you to communicate with your parents. It's formerly known as Remind 101, but they dropped the 101. First week of school, I definitely sign up for a Remind. If you're not familiar with that app, I'll put a picture here, but you can download it on your Android or Apple devices. And it is a great way for you to communicate with your parents. It's formerly known as Remind 101, but they dropped the 101. So it's Remind. I believe it's Remind, because someone's telling me I always say Remind HQ, but I believe it's Remind. It's an amazing app, especially for teachers who don't feel comfortable giving parents their personal cell phone numbers, which I get it. I've never been like, oh, I don't want to give out my number to a parent. I don't know. I just never been that way. It's, you know, if they have it, they have it. My previous school and district, though, I had a work phone. Oh, y'all, this is Mama Bear calling. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, so that was Mama Bear. Anyway, so what I like to do, like I was saying, is I like to flood my parents' remind text with lots of pictures of what we're doing, what's going on, so that they feel a part of our classroom and what we're doing. So like if we're practicing read to self, this is what read to self looks like when I have on the fireplace and it looks cozy. This is what read to self is always going to look like. I show examples of writers workshop. All kinds of pictures that I can do. I do group pictures, and then I also do individual pictures where I show parents individually what their first D is doing, just to make their day. And I do that for the first week, like really, really heavy. And so if you see me with my phone in my hand, I'm snapping a photo because, you know, constantly, it's because I am sending these out instantly, and I want parents to get them in the middle of the day, not at, you know, 3:30 when school is over, or 4 o'clock when school is over and they're getting all these texts. You know, I like to do it right there in the moment. It takes work, don't get me wrong. It does take a little extra effort, but I'm willing to make that extra effort for my parents because I feel like it's very, very important. And so with that said, that's the first week of school. So then that Saturday when school, you know, school is out that Saturday, my other form of communication is I like to call every single parent and just leave them with a positive note on something amazing that I noticed about their firstie or what I've enjoyed so far about their firstie. I think it's crucial. Yes, it's a Saturday. But like I said, I'm willing to go that extra effort to make that call. Yeah, I could call Friday during my planning, or I could call Friday morning or during the week. I don't know. But for me, I just feel like Saturday, I feel like I'm giving that parent a little extra time if they want to ask me questions, if they want to talk. I never want my parents to feel like I'm rushing them when we're communicating about their child. I feel like it's rude. And I don't want to be rude. I want them to know how much I care and how much I am there for them and their child. So I like to call that Saturday after that first week of school, just because I want to give them that time where they feel like they can talk to me in a comfortable, calm, relaxed, oh, you have 15 minutes or you have 10 minutes. I don't want that kind of environment for them. I don't want them to feel like I'm rushing them. So that's really a huge tip that I would like to give you, starting off that parent communication on a positive note. The first week of school, flood it with lots of pictures, lots of photos of what you're doing, what's going on, what they're learning about. Parents love that. Like they love that. They eat it up and they love it. Also, so you have that remind on the first week of school, and then you have the call on that Saturday to all your parents. Now, if all my parents don't answer, then basically what I do is I just leave a message just saying, hey, it's Miss May, and I just want you to know that your firstie, whoever had an amazing first week. I just love how they blah 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 blah, and I just leave a quick little snippet voicemail to them because it's important. And then they'll either call back and I'll answer it and we talk, or I'm moving on to the next parent and I may miss their call. So I definitely do that the first week of school. The second week of school, I start making my love calls. If you have not seen that video about love calls, click the card up here. It will take you to that video. Love calls are so important, so crucial. I have to give a shout out to my boy, Darren Nakikahara. If you're not familiar with his channel, I'm gonna put a link in the description box below. But he teaches upper elementary, and let me tell you, his kiddos, he does love calls on his kiddos. And it was a huge success, and he told me, he was like, my whole team, we do it. And it's a beautiful thing. And basically what a love call is I stop whatever I'm doing in the middle of class. Kids are working independently or in groups, and I'll call a kiddo over to make a love call to a parent, a grandparent, whoever they choose to make a love call to. But again, leave that card right here, and then a link will be in the description box for that video. Love calls are important. I do love calls throughout the year, off and on. I make sure every kid gets a love call that second week of school. So you have provided 3 forms already And let's not even count all the remind texts that you're given throughout the first week, but you're given 3 different forms of communication already, and it's, you know, 2 weeks of school in. I also love to do emails every Friday. Every Friday I do an email and my parents get a newsletter. That newsletter basically just talks about what's going on for the upcoming week. I'll put a link in the description box of my newsletters that I use. You know, they're melon heads and they're pretty super cute, because let's face it, who wants to read something dull looking and boring looking? I don't. Something that grabs their attention. So I definitely created newsletters that would grab the reader's eye. So I definitely send an email every Friday to my parents, you know, just saying some positive things, but then also letting them know to check their attachment, because attached will be our newsletter. I always do that every Friday. You know, if I miss, you best believe that they're getting an email. You know, I fell a little short, but you will get your newsletter on Saturday. So I definitely communicate that way. I'm very big on remind out of all these forms of communication, because remind is so quick. Like, we have libraries on Tuesdays, so every Tuesday or every Monday night I'm sending a remind to my parents, don't forget library day tomorrow. It just helps parents remember, because let's face it, life gets busy, things go on, and parents need, you know, so you just need a reminder. I need reminders. So I love to send that. If there's picture day on Thursday, I'll remind the night before, don't forget, wear your best clothes. Picture day is tomorrow. Just any little thing that I need to remind them about really quickly, I do, versus doing an email. I also like to, like, every day or every other day, I'll send a question. Ask your firstie what is onomatopoeia. And so hopefully their firstie can tell them what that is. Ask your firstie, what did we learn about chicks today? Ask your firstie, what does it mean to have a problem and a solution in the story? I try to figure out different questions they can ask their firstie, so that there's not that, I don't remember what I learned in school today. I don't remember. It builds that form of communication. And if I create an anchor chart, I'll take a picture of that anchor chart and I'll just send out a text to all my parents, and it goes to them all at once. And it just says, you know, please ask your firstie about this anchor chart that we created today. And parents love that. It just gives them that good form of communication. So don't be afraid to talk to your parents. Don't be afraid to give them lots of communication, because they love it. Communication is key. And kids need to know that the parent and the teacher are on the same page. And to me, I feel like communication is your way to go. It's just, it makes the school year so much different. I do my best to try to communicate to parents as much as I can before they come to me with questions. And 9 times out of 10, they really don't have to come to me with a question or what about this, that, because 99% of the time I've already given them that information. They know about it. I don't want parents to have to worry about, well, does Miss May care? Does Miss May know what's going on? I never want parents to feel flustered, like what's going on with school, what's going on with their child. So those are my tips for parent communication. I suggest you to highly sign up for Remind. That is the best form of communication possible. I would also, there's always that old school calling on the phone. I do like to make phone calls when I have to discuss academics. When I really need to discuss academics, I don't really like putting much academic information in writing. I like to talk about it and explain it to the parent. And then when there's behavior issues, I don't suggest explaining behavior issues through email, through text, none of that. Definitely those are things that you want to make a phone call on. And when you do make those phone calls, when you have to talk about those things, I would definitely document it too. So anyways, my loves, thank you so much for stopping by. And until next time, I will see. I'm very proud of myself because I'm just now feeling like I need water. So my loves, don't forget to always pray, because God will always truly make a way. Hugs and blessings, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye. Hey guys, so I totally got onto a mission of, I was doing my video, then I decided, okay, I need to leave. And then as I was looking at my video, I was like, I totally forgot to mention this. I totally forgot to mention how to deal with negative parents. So if you come across a parent who isn't quite respectful, who is a bit negative, I'm just going to ask that you just kill them with kindness. Just be kind. Even when it's very difficult and hard to do, just truly, truly be kind to them. If you get a rude or negative email, I would definitely sit on that for about 24 hours before you reply. Let yourself calm down. Let yourself get your nerves down before you reply, because you do not want to reply disrespectfully. You don't want to call a parent disrespectfully. You know, you want to handle it with grace. If you have to call on Jesus before you reply to a parent, call on Jesus, because he will give you what you need to talk to that parent the right way and communicate the right way. So many people have said, Miss May, so how do you deal with negative parents? I'm gonna be honest, I can count on my one hand how many negative parents I've dealt with, and 2 truly come to my mind that I feel like were just so negative to me and rude to me. And I just killed them with kindness. I just stayed kind. I wasn't as cheesy like I normally am with most parents, but I was still kind to them. And I still demanded my respect, though. Whatever you do, don't let anyone come into your environment and in your space and disrespect you or make you feel like you're incompetent or like, you know, you're not doing your job how you should be doing it, how they think you should be doing it. So definitely demand your respect, but demand it in a very kind way. So that is my little snippet of dealing with negative parents, because 2 come to mind for me, and that was my very first year of teaching. And my first year of teaching was amazing. I had an amazing group of parents and I had an amazing group of students, and that's when I taught 3rd grade. And I had this one parent just nitpicked every little thing. Nitpick. But you know what? I killed her with kindness. And even if I was to see that parent today, I would still say hello. Would I stop to have a small conversation? Heck to the no. I believe that God has given me the tools that I need to communicate with parents very well. And so you keep that communication going and you're consistent with that communication, it's going to be an amazing school year for you with your parents. I truly, truly believe that. All right, guys, so now I'm going to end this vlog. So until next time, hugs and blessings. And as always, don't forget to pray, because God will always make a way. Bye, guys.